Welcome back, everyone, to the Best Prop Plays YouTube channel. Today is Wednesday. It is April 23rd, and I'm back. We're going to have some more NBA playoff games for you guys for the Wednesday slate. Like the two games we're going to be talking about, again, not going to be touching the Memphis game or the series or the Cavs series for the entire time because there's no point. I have no idea what's going to happen in either of those series. My guess, 4-0 for Thunder after watching them again tonight, and maybe 4-1 for the Cavs. I don't see any value laying 15.5 with the Cavs, so we're not going to talk about those series at all. We are going to talk about that Boston game tonight going up against the Magic. Then we also have that late game with the Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. But before we get to those games, let's start the games on right now. Bucks plus 4.5 was the play. I think I actually got them at plus 4. They're down 87-75, I want to say. It was a 4-point game right before half. Pacers make it an 8-point game then. Right before half, a little bit of a run. Came out of half, another run. 10-2 run to start the second half. Bucks went down by 18. They're trying to battle their way back, but it just doesn't look great right now for Milwaukee. Giannis is having a good day. Lopez having a bad shooting day. Portis having a pretty good day. Lillard doing his same thing of 13 points, a couple assists here and there. But they got to play better basketball if they want to compete in this series. Hopefully they do make a comeback. It is the middle of the third quarter. Plenty of time left to make a comeback in the NBA time. 5 minutes in the NBA, you can go on a 20-0 run. So anything's possible in that one. Watching the Memphis game, again, the Thunder are dominating the Memphis Grizzlies, and they're up by 20 at the half. Giannis, I believe he has 18 points, sitting on 18 in the middle of the third quarter, so we need to do a little bit more damage in the fourth quarter going up against the Pacers. We have Luka tonight, over 30.5 points, going up against the T-Wolves, and then we have the Lakers minus 5.5. Really, really confident in that play tonight. So hopefully, Bucks make a comeback. Giannis gets some points up. I'd love to get just a 1-1 out of that game and then sweep the T-Wolves tonight. That'd be great. So looking at a 3-1, hopefully 3-1 day for Tuesday. Let's go to the games from Wednesday. Not a lot to say, really. The Magic, they're going to try to compete in this game going up against the Boston Celtics. And this team, the Boston Celtics, they are led by one man and one man only. That is Derek White. This is his team. It's playoff time. That means it's Derek White time. I can't believe I missed on the first game not taking Derek White. 30 points, 5 threes. I should have been all over that. I'm going to be all over on this game today because he was so good in the first round against the Heat last year. And for the Celtics as a whole, Tatum's not a superstar. Sorry. Jaylen Brown's a little bit banged up, so they really don't need him in this game. Going to be leaning on, once again, the role players for the Boston Celtics. Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard and Derek White, the two best players on the floor in game number 1. Probably going to be the two best players on the floor in game number 2 because, again, Jason Tatum is a certified bum. I don't know how people think that Jason Tatum's good at basketball. Good, not great. First round last year against the Heat, they dropped that second game going up against Miami 111-101. Missoula's got the boys buzzing. I liked whenever Tatum got hurt, and he told the trainer, hey, don't go out there. He's going to get up on his own because Tatum was flopping like he always does. I like the mentality that Missoula has right now for the Boston Celtics. I do not think they come out slow in this game, and it's 10.5 points. The Magic, they probably don't get to 100 once again, and I'm going to go over the games for the Celtics going up against the Heat. They scored 114-94, 104-84, 102-88, 118-84. This Heat team from last season is basically the exact same team the Magic have this season. They are second worst in the NBA at scoring. They are the number 1 defensive team in the NBA, but the number 2 defensive team or 3 defensive team in the NBA is the Boston Celtics. They are playing tremendous defense. Doesn't matter if they score 105, 110 in this game. I still think they cover the minus 10.5. So we're going to go Boston minus 10.5 as the first play. Second play, kind of a toss-up. I like both these teams. Of course, we have Jay Butt and Steph Curry on the Warriors going up against Jalen Green, who was horrific in game number 1. Amon Thompson. We have really, you're going to tune into this game to watch a fight. Hopefully we get a fight between Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green. That's the only reason to tune in this one. The first game was so incredibly boring, low scoring. You'd say, oh, man, they scored 5 points in the last 7 minutes between both teams. That's not a game that you want to really watch. But I am going to take the Rockets here, minus 2.5. I do think the scoring will be up just a little bit for the Rockets. They're going to come out a little bit more desperate than they did in game number 1. They cannot drop 2 games at home and go to Golden State and expect to win this series. Golden State, they're going to play tough defense. They're going to knock down shots. The Rockets have to be more physical. I'm going to take the Rockets minus 2.5. I'm going to turn it on for the first half. Hopefully, Brooks and Draymond Green are in their bags, and, it makes it fun to watch. But the first game of this series was disgusting, and that goes for a lot of games so far in the NBA. And I know it's round number 1. The Nuggets and the Clippers have given us 2 fantastic matchups, first game and second game. What else was a good game? Not the Memphis series so far. Bucks series has been kind of a blowout. I mean, they're down by 15 right now. There's really Pistons Knicks. Both games are pretty good. That's really it. It's the Pistons Knicks series and the Denver and Clippers series. That's basically it. Everything else has been kind of boring. Hopefully this game picks it up a little bit. I'm going to go Rockets minus 2.5 here as the final play. For the player props, Derek White over his total points going up against the Orlando Magic. And he really has been a guy on a mission, and he's been the best player for the Boston Celtics in a lot of these games in the first and second round. Kind of slipped up in the finals going up against the Mavericks. He did have some really good games against the Mavericks, scored 16, 18, 15, 14, had a single-digit point game in there. But looking at his numbers last season, I'm just going to go up and down the list here from the Heat to the Cavs to the Pacers to the Mavericks. 16, 24, 18, 20, 16, 38, 25, 25, 10, 12, 18, 15, 5, 23, 13, 16, 15, 18, 6, 14, and 30 in the last game going up against the Magic. His numbers are elevated in the playoffs, and he's the guy to look to in the postseason for the Boston Celtics over the last 2 years. So guess what? I took him last year a ton in the playoffs. I'm taking him again this year. Derek White, over 3.5 made threes. You can take his points as you want, but on the regular season, he has been living on the outside. Some of his shots have not been hitting on the outside this year, but he went 5 of 7 from deep. No, yeah, 7 of 9, 7 of 12 from deep in the first game. So once again, he's living on the outside. I'm going to take the over 3.5 made threes. The Magic on the season have been fantastic at guarding the perimeter. They just weren't going up against Derek White. Again, I think he's going to be left alone, make his threes, be the leading scorer for the Celtics once again. Give me Derek White over 3.5 made threes as a play. For the last play, I was thinking about taking a Rocket, and I can't take Steph Curry because Amon Thompson's going to be on him. Should play some pretty good defense on him. He's one of the better defenders, at least young defenders that I know. So Steph Curry might get bottled up a little bit. I wanted to take Jimmy Butler over his total free throws, just couldn't find it anywhere. Probably a little bit early to be looking at free throw props, but if you can find Jimmy Butler over his total free throws, that is where I would go. He's been getting the friendly whistle over the last 3 or 4 weeks, even more than Shea. I know people like to talk about SGA getting the nice whistle, but Jimmy Butler's been the leading free throw shooter and scorer over the last month in the NBA. So I'm going to go Jimmy Butler here over his total points. He had a pretty good game in game number 1, 25 points. He did shoot a lot, 19 attempts. That's enough for me. Mid-range Jimmy, playoff Jimmy buckets. I'm going to take him over 22.5 points as the final play of the night. Let's go to the NBA recap graphic. I'm going to take Boston minus 10.5 going up against the Magic. The Rockets minus 2.5 going up against the Warriors. Hopefully we get a pretty good game in that one. Derek White over 3.5 made threes going up against the Magic. And then Jimmy Butler, Jimmy buckets, Jimothy over 22.5 points going up against the Rockets as the final play of the day. Guys, that's going to do it for the NBA picks and props for Wednesday, April 23rd, slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop like this video, and subscribe down below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.